So, hello everyone to a very special webinar for us, the Perfect Sample Gas webinar. And because we have a very special webinar, the heated lines or tube bundles, something we will discuss here. We created new content. I think there's also new education, new things you can learn, new knowledge transfer. And I'm very happy to have you here. And I want to say good morning from Germany. And now let me first of all get someone into the picture here who is farthest away. Hi, Jemson.
Hi, very good afternoon from Singapore, and we go live now.
Oh, super. Yeah, very good afternoon, Jemson. I think it's already in LinkedIn session number 51. Can you imagine, Jemson?
I just beyond my imagination when we start, when we start doing it. When was that?
It's incredible. It's incredible. But Jemson, now challenge for today, 30 minutes. I wrote on LinkedIn, we are taking this challenge and we will reduce a little bit the advertisement things and we will say, we will be very focused. But first things first, allow me also to add Tobias into the screen, the head of sales for the products here in PSG, the Perfect Sample Gas Company. Tobias, good morning.
Very good morning, guys. Good afternoon, Jemson. Hello to the rest of the world.
To one floor up. Okay, yeah. The people who are following us on, let's say, on a frequent base, they saw that in the last webinars we've been introducing the world team, our world contacts, Jemson, Jose, and also Antonio from Brazil, obviously. And I think it's just very good to see you all guys here. And there's also one person I would like to introduce. Maybe I've seen that already in the invitation, which is Jonas. Very good morning,
Good
Jonas.
morning, guys. Good afternoon, James.
Yeah.
Hello, world.
A new face, a new team member in Tobias' team. And Jonas, I think for you, hopefully a nice experience to be this time not just a viewer but also a member of the presentation team.
Absolutely,
here.
I'm very glad to be here.
Yeah, and so we have a lot of very interesting things on our list today. So I would say let's just get started. And guys, I think, as I wrote, the challenge is 30 minutes. So we have to hurry up as much as we can with our content, and especially with the things which are not so much content related. So let me shortly again show our world team here. Antonio Mena, responsible for South America. I don't know if he is currently online. I think we saw him online many times. Jose, who is Jose Luis, who is responsible for the Middle East region. And I'm very excited. On Friday, I start my travel to Jose. I think we will have a great tour. We have many customer appointments. And Jose, I'm very excited to have this tour. And I'm convinced that we can do some pretty good presentations. All right, and then obviously the one already celebrating webinar 51 with us, Jemson from Singapore. You're like the dinosaur. Okay. All right, guys, let's get started because I can say that the topic itself means a lot to us. Heated sample lines and tube bundles. So what we tried to do for this webinar and for this session was to get a little bit different point of view on this topic, because we will not only talk about, let's say, our main application like continuous emission monitoring or process analytics, but we will also talk about instrumentation and where are the products, which you can hopefully see here next to me, but where are these products even also used? we would like to give you an overview. And the idea is in the remaining 25 minutes to show you step by step the different layers, so to say, of a product which is finally ending then to a heated sample line, or which can end up to a complete heated sample line. Allow me also to say, and I think we have this here in our upcoming webinars, in the next webinar in 14 days, in 2 weeks, we will talk about a little bit more about the specials of heated sample lines, which will be the hybrid solutions, which will be ATEX solutions, which will be flexible solutions. But this time we are really focused on an initial overview, starting from a single tube, developing to, let's say, a complete tube bundle, or at the end, even a heated sample line. Okay, last part of advertisement. We have another webinar set up in 4 weeks. In 1 month, we will have another session about sample gas cooler. And we will show the latest developments in this field from our company, washout effects, and the reduction of washout is something big we are going to touch on. And yeah, I'm excited to have this session also then in, like I said, one month. Okay. Wow. Short product overview, as usual, for the ones who might be watching this for the first time. What is the perfect sample gas stand for? What are our products and our solutions? We start from the extraction, from the sampling, from the tapping point of a gas, and then, and this is the main focus of today, also the transport. And today, let me say, it's not just a gas, it can be a fluid in general. Jemsen, for example, for instrumentation, it can also be, for example, liquids, right, which are transported. Yeah.
In fact,
So,
we have many a times we have instrumentation tubings, including the sensing line for the instrumentation transmitter. Yeah, all transmitter requires such tubing, but they call it sensing rather than just tubing, because a sensing line has its own specification, certain thickness, certain kind of stainless steels.
Okay, yeah, good point already, Jemsen. Something Tobias will explain to us, the different varieties and the different options we have in the field of materials, obviously. Okay, so then after the transport part, main focus today, we have the conditioning part, cooling part, and also the field of system integration, obviously. Then again, something you will find in all our products now as we relaunched our website, and you will find the new structure in our product catalog. You will find the basic product line, which is mainly focused on SEM application. And this is the individualization which is possible is more limited compared to the plus line, where we can do more, where we have more variety, where we have more options we can offer, where there might be extended warranty or warranty extensions possible. And at the end, we have the process part, which is mainly the ATEX part. Yeah? Just to, let's say, round up the different parts here. So, Jemsen, I think that's pretty much one of the slides I would like to share. I think the left part, the sample transportation, when we look at the standard PNID for process or probe sampling, I think this is something we discussed here in the webinars already quite often. But I wanted to share also some pictures of instrumentation lines. So this is different applications. And I think you already named 2 of them, right? Or for example, the transmitter part, right?
Yeah. They also have a, recently we receiving inquiries for in Asia, mainly for the platform, for exploration, the platforms, and what are the UVP of these platforms that is, that we're offering. Uh, Similarly, whether they are using for analytical or for instrumentations, but such a line is that they are non-heated. Very much they are insulated against corrosion, explosion, or even exposing to H2S, you see, on the external part. So for the benefits of the audience, do understand that we are not only the heated line that many people thought that the analytical heated line that you can come to us. Please send your inquiry to us when it comes to instrumentation as well.
Right. Right. Yeah, I think that's a very important part. And I think you already said that, Jimson, corrosion could be one reason why to add an additional jacket, but we will have this also in the presentation at a later stage to say that there could be, also a heat protection depending on the temperature. We know that many of our customers also use steam, and steam, when you have the high temperature steam, you have to do something. Otherwise, you might have a very hot surface and a very hot temperature. And also there, a single tube with an additional insulation, sorry, is something you will need in order to reduce the surface temperature, and in order at the end to reduce the risk which could happen there, right? Okay, so Tobias, I think this is something you can start explaining. So when I have a look, I mean, right next to me here, we have a lot of samples, and maybe okay, if I'm not so easy to remove. But this is one of the samples I would like to share here already. So this is, let's say, it's just for illustration, but this is the ends inside, and this is an endless stainless steel tube. This is a special version of it, which we will touch a little bit later. But maybe, Tobias, it's a good situation that you can explain us what is typically inside of heated lines, or not just heated lines, but what different materials for stainless steel coil tubes is possible.
Right. Starting with the application, what we consider or what customers need to consider is the type of material that goes inside of a single tubing, maybe an extruded tubing, maybe an insulated tubing. There are various stainless steel types in endless coils. There are stainless steel in welded applications, and there are stainless steel applications for coated materials when measurement results are coming onto the board where it gets to critical components. I think what people need to consider is how much pressure do you have? What do you want to transport? Is corrosion a factor? And what type of gas or liquid is it to transport through the line in the end? And you can go from various stainless steel different tubes to plastics, which have also a lot of benefits. At the same time, they come with a downside that you can't put endless pressure onto them.
Right.
So they are not suitable for all the industry applications, but at the same time, they are very suitable when it comes to corrosion effects. And you can even do combinations of that. You can do multiple dimension of tubings, bringing them together depending on your need. But it always starts with what do I want to do? What do I want to transport? And
Okay.
what is the background of that? is there an analytical background, or is it really just an instrumentation and the transport of a fluid?
Okay, so I think from the last webinars or the main topic, I mean, we've been focusing quite a lot on emission monitoring. Tobias, this is something you mentioned. Then we were more in the field of plastics, of, for example, PTFE or PFA are typical applications there.
Right.
Okay, I understand. And so if let's say we are more in the field of instrumentation, like you explained pretty good, is when there is pressure, obviously stainless steel applications are the ones which are often taken and needed, right?
Right, totally right.
Okay. I think it's also fair to mention that we are not producing these type of material. Yeah, we have a long cooperation with companies like Sandvik, so mainly for the stainless steel part. Sometimes I think, Tobias, when it comes to delivery times, we have a discussion with our customer. When it's Hastelloy or Monel or double or 316 or 316 L duplex or any special material, sometimes this can take some time, right? But in general, as long as we can get it, and as long as the dimension is not bigger than, what is the maximum, Tobias? Do you know by?
For the full bundle?
No, for single tube, let's say.
We managed to get full inch tubes into bundles.
Okay.
So that's possible. I would say, well, what is not possible because of bending radius and stuff like that is when it gets higher than 1 inch. I think that's simply that's a product that will be delivered on bars instead of drums. That's mainly the difference.
Okay, I got it. I understand. So then, and this is, I would say, pretty nice that I can show this one here, because also we have, when we talk about the tube itself and the tubing itself, there's different ways to treat the tubing. I remember we had a webinar here, Jemson, you might remember as well, for the surface treatment inside of stainless steel tubes, for example. In a later stage, I will give a short overview. That's a table from the company called Henkel, our partner there, and where we have a short, not comparison, but I would say a good overview, something we will focus on the next webinar more in detail. But Tobias, maybe because I see a lot there, electro-polished, then we have welded tubes. Can you name us the main application? What is mainly important?
Well, coating materials, then we are mostly talking about coated stainless steel.
Right.
This is for sure the first thing, and then most likely we are talking about analytical lines that are used in the process. And in the past, they made measurements, especially in the chemical and in the petrochemical applications, where there were measurements around ppm. And nowadays, you find here and there something like a trend where they are even analyzing in a range of ppb. And therefore, the transport of such a fluid or such a gas gets more and more important, because if you're talking about a ppb range, then it's really the smallest particles that go into an inner surface of a stainless steel can make a difference in the measurement. And therefore it is getting more and more precise in form of the tubing for getting the maximum result out of it.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. Something we said in the other webinars is that very often the heated sample line represents the biggest surface of the entire sample handling system. So taking this into account, don't underestimate the relevancy of this. But when we talk about instrumentation, Tobias, I think there's one option here I would like to outline a little bit more. And this is the one of welded tubes. That
Right.
is maybe something interesting, right? I mean, if you're not in the field of process analytics, that might be a good option, right?
Well, there's a big development in the past, I don't know, 10 to 15 years when it comes to welded tubes. What people have in their mind is that they don't get a welded tube to a gas tight situation. And this has nowadays has changed. There are suppliers for welded tubes on the market that deliver you a welded tube in the same tolerance class as a seamless steel tube. That means if you are using something like spatchlock fittings, they are all comparable or I'm missing the word, I'm sorry. They are
Compatible.
usable. Yeah, they are usable for welded tubes, and you have the same gas tight result, which means for standard instrumentation applications, there's an option created from different manufacturers for getting the guys a more economical solution, because you can
Okay.
imagine seamless is not a standard tubing on the market, especially in coils, in endless coils, and therefore has its price.
Okay. So especially in the current supply situation, it can be something, and this is also an option we offer more and more. I must say, from that, there is also welded tubes out there. Regarding pressure, for example, there's nearly no difference compared to seamless tubes. So could be an option to consider, right?
There are a lot of instrumentation lines in the hydrogen sector that are built with welded tubes. And I think this
Okay.
is a perfect example of what people maybe are feared of, that those things are not gas tight.
Okay, all right, got it. Let me skip this part here because we have in the next webinar more time to focus on the surface treatment itself. I would like to come back here, and hopefully this PowerPoint slides a little bit shows the development, starting from a single tube going to so-called tube bundles. I was trying to find a definition of this on the internet. It's not very easy to find, so I made up my own definition. I would say a tube bundle, at least in our wording, would be a product which has more than one tube inside, right? And I mean, the big advantage of seamless on coils, on seamless tubes or welded tubes on coils is that you can reduce the fittings you need. Another technology would be 6 meter running lengths, and then you have to put a fitting. So this is an option which, is not very economical. The installation takes longer. So I think this is a big advantage when it comes to coils and when it comes also to tube bundles. So I try to give this overview when to use what. Jensen, would you agree with this overview, or is this something someone that can be of help, or?
I think it will be a lot of people will be asking, that can I have this overview?
Okay, yeah. So really, we start with one single component, and then it's the tube bundle. It can be insulated, and the final stage of this development would at the end then be a heated line, which is also electrical, in most cases, electrical heated. Now, as you can imagine, we have been thinking here at PSG a lot. Tobias, I don't know if this figure we are spreading is still, let's say, accurate or still up to date. Sometimes we said it's more than 2,500 different heated sample lines. I think the last number you gave me was another, right?
Yeah, it was 5,400.
It's unbelievable. It really is. It really is unbelievable. I mean, obviously, there's some more, let's say, standard lines, Jemsen, for example, the lines we see for emission monitoring, yeah, there's maybe 10 standards, so to say, but having more than 5,400 different configurations of heated sample line, having them quoted or produced, that is already a number. So, and Tobias, I think I must say I'm very proud of the system we developed together here in the company, the so-called configuration matrix. And maybe we use the chance here to explain how this configuration really works. Because at that time we've been thinking, what is the easiest way for our customer to think, I need a certain line. Is this line possible to produce? Can we make it? And I think this structure really helps. And Jonas, it would be very nice if you can show our audience here, if they are searching for a certain tube, insulated tube, heated line, how can they find this on our website? So let me put this. Yeah, maybe you can show us.
Yes, thank you very much. So, guys, as you can already see over here, we're called on our website, perfectsamplegas.de, and we're also on the English page right now. So if you at our homepage here, just hit the products button, and then right down here you can see a point which is called match code matrix, like Jörg already told you a few seconds ago. And we have this match code matrix for certain different systems. So like our probes also have a matrix, but more on that part, maybe in a different webinar. But here you can find our heated lines match code matrix. So just hit this button and it will open like a PDF. You can download the PDF, and then you will be on then you can see this page. It's for our heated sample lines. And if you just scroll down a little bit, here you can see a little overview, just what this overview tells you what our match code matrix all includes. So it's pretty much everything, or every component the heated sample line or the tube bundles have. And it's pretty easy to use. So like you can see here, it always begins with our ATEX class. So you would put the ATEX class you need at first. Then you would put the bundle type. We have mostly two different types. That would be analytical lines or tube bundles. Then the next part would be the number of sample tubes. It's just pretty much what it's called in the name. You just put in the number of tubes you need. Then we have the next point, number of additional tubes. These are the tubes which aren't heated and are in the insulation. You can see it over here. These would be the additional tubes. And after that, you would put in a size of the sample tube. And to put in the size of the sample tube, you would scroll down a little bit, and you would find here the size of the sample tube, and we have codes for every size. So for example, if you would need a metrical 10 millimeter and a 1 millimeter
thickness,
thank you very much.
No problem.
You would put in M1. We also have it in inches. You can see over here. Oh, sorry. And after you put a thickness in, you would follow on with the material of the sample tubes and the additional tubes. And yeah, it's pretty much
I think Jonas, yeah, I think it's great to have.
Running out of time, sorry.
Yeah, no problem. But if you go up a little bit to the schematic drawing, I think this is the point what we want to show. So what our order code is made of, step by step, you can define your individualized solution. And we are not expecting from our customers that you learn all of our codings. But Tobias and his team is very happy to support you. And whenever you get a quote from us, you will find this code again. This is, let's say, our Bible for the definition of the heated sample lines, so that it's very clear at the end what kind of configuration are you getting. Yeah. And I think it's a pretty good structure which can help and give an overview of the different options we have. So I think that can be of help. Right. So guys, now 30 minutes are gone. As I told you, it's impossible to do it in 30 minutes.
We're pretty good in time.
Challenge accepted. Okay. No, but let's close this up and let's round up. Because there were some questions, and I like the conversation. I like the interaction we have here. Tobias, there was one question I think you already answered, right? This was for the e-polished solution, or what was the question which came up?
Yeah, there was a question of how to handle below 1 ppm range when you have H2S, what you want to measure. And of course, there need to be some more details to submit. But as far as I understood it from Sanjay Kumar, an e-polished version with an inner roughness below 0.25 in combination with a silicone coating could be suitable, because I think the most challenging thing is that he's losing some particles on the way to his analyzer. And of course, he needs an analyzer who fits into that range, which is also
sure. Yeah. This is absolutely.
And enough heat. Yeah. That's
maybe really, I think this is something important for me that we finish with the heating part. To recap this, we started with a single tube, welded or seamless. We started with a tube bundle, multiple tubes together. And then it's also possible, something we saw also in our order code, the configuration you can do with the insulation, the additional insulation, no heating. But now comes, maybe I can say it like this, the active heating, which in our case, in 90% of the cases, is electrical heat tracing or heat tracers we use in order to heat this line. And I think it's not enough time to go through all of this. In the next webinar, we will focus more on the ATEX areas. But for ATEX, allow me also to say something in the field of instrumentation, because at the end, it doesn't matter if there is an electrical heating cable inside or not. When you have a bundle installation somewhere in your plant, you have to do something. You have to consider the risk of electrostatical load. And if it's a heated line which has insulation, certain thickness, the layout is the same like with the heated sample lines. So we recommend to consider our AX2 and AX3 solutions, depending on the ATEX area where, or the area classification where the installation is. That at the end you might come up either with a conductive jacket, so that there is no risk from electrostatical load of these type of products. This is the same whether it's heated with a heat tracer or not. This is just something I wanted to mention there. And Jemsen, I think these pictures, you have the copyright on these pictures. So maybe it's also a nice roundup. We might see high temperatures, not just for the heated ones, but also for the insulation. You have to consider the materials. Some materials can only last 200, 220 degrees. We have glass fiber solution, which can last higher. So yeah, maybe you could say some words about this, Jemson.
Yeah. So now we can produce quality heated line. However, there is always an area that many people overlook. It is during the installation. Many a times that the procurement, we have negotiated, we have purchased it, specification, all compliance, but at the expense of the during the installation. But if we are not properly informed and instructed, this is one of the case. You can see that the heated lines overlapping on each other,
Right.
right, resulted that it could be a burn on the. So just be careful. So the whole
And
value chain.
don't underestimate. That's the reason. And Jemson, like I said, we delivered more than 10 kilometers of heated lines, insulated lines, not heated, insulated lines, very close to you in Singapore.
Instrumentation line, yeah.
Yeah, instrumentation line, even
Yeah.
in different colors, this is
Yeah.
possible.
Instrumentation
So,
sensing line.
yeah. So maybe this is something we would like to outline here. Okay, guys. 5 minutes, 6 minutes over. Okay,
Overrun.
Overrun. That's a lot in percentage. But anyways, it was a great fun. I think it's a big challenge. To have it in a shorter amount of time. But it was great fun. I hope we could answer some questions. I hope the people are now better informed. Just send us your RFQs. Get to our world team here. Obviously, when there's any RFQs, or to the factory directly. And most important, guys, stay safe. Yeah. All right. Thank you.
All
And
right.
see you in 2 weeks.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Cheers, guys. Bye bye.
Yes.